From our Toronto studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Zahra Syed. Our top story tonight. President Joe Biden has green-lighted over $2 billion in new arms, including bombs and fighter jets, for Israel. Despite widespread destruction and displacement in Gaza, Israel plans to extend its offensive to its southern region of Rafah. The Washington Post reports that the approved arms include 1,800 Mk-84 2,000-pound bombs and 25 F-35A fighter jets and engines. These sales were not publicly disclosed, indicating a shift in U.S.-Israel relations. Biden's decision contrasts with calls from fellow Democrats to condition sending arms to Israel with its adherence to humanitarian standards, citing a 1961 law. The transfer has taken place, despite tensions between the Biden administration and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. A prominent figure of the Democratic Party is criticizing the Biden administration for endorsing Israel's war on Gaza and accepting Israel's claim that it is adhering to international law. President of the Center for American Progress, Patrick Gaspard, is demanding evidence that Israel is respecting laws. He is also calling for transparency in justifying continued arms sales to Israel. Gaspard highlights Israel's blockade of Gaza, which has led to children's deaths from malnutrition, starvation, as well as denial of water, medicine, and other necessities to its people. The critique followed the State Department's claim, based on Israeli assurances that Israel's actions in Gaza did not violate international law. However, the State Department has clarified that the assessment is ongoing. Israel stands accused of genocide at the International Court of Justice. In January, it issued an interim ruling ordering Tel Aviv to stop genocidal acts and take measures to guarantee humanitarian assistance is provided to civilians in Gaza. Hundreds of Muslims congregated outside Philadelphia City Hall for late-night Ramadan prayers to express solidarity with Gaza and local communities affected by violence. Organized by the Council on American Islamic Relations and local mosques, Friday's event featured prayers for peace and an end to conflict. Participants displayed signs advocating for Gaza and local peace efforts. The event also sought to influence policymakers, focusing on President Joe Biden's pro-Israel stance. The gathering emphasized the sizable Muslim population's potential impact on the November presidential election. Philadelphia is home to roughly 300,000 Muslims. Biden won the state, and with it, the 2020 election, by only 80,000 votes. Environmental and pro-Palestine activists caused a stir at St. Patrick's Cathedral during Saturday's Easter Vigil in New York. They chanted "Free Palestine" and displayed an Extinction Rebellion banner demanding attention to Israel's war on Gaza and climate change. Videos circulating on social media captured the disruption. The group XRNYC Palestine Solidarity, which is linked to the global environmental movement Extinction Rebellion, claimed responsibility, urging faith leaders to address these issues. A mixed crowd of pro-Palestine and anti-climate change demonstrators gathered, prompting police intervention due to the tensions. Police arrested 3 protesters. Malaysian authorities have apprehended 3 people accused of providing firearms to a 36-year-old Israeli passport holder. The man, who was detained in the capital Kuala Lumpur, arrived from the UAE with 6 handguns and 200 bullets and initially used a suspected fake French passport. Authorities say that upon interrogation, he disclosed his Israeli identity and confessed to ordering weapons using cryptocurrency upon his arrival. The man claimed to be in Malaysia to settle a family dispute. The detained Malaysians, including a couple, allegedly facilitated the weapons supply. Inspector General of Police Razaruddin Hussain did not rule out the possibility that the man could be a member of Israeli intelligence. Authorities have been put on high alert following the man's arrest, with security beefed up for Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim and other high-level figures. Muslim-majority Malaysia is a staunch supporter of the Palestinians and has criticized Israel's war in Gaza. The U.S. has announced new visa restrictions targeting 10 Syrian government officials and their family members. They are accused of being responsible for or complicit in the repression of Syrians through violence and severe human rights abuses. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller says the new restrictions supplement the visa restrictions announced in December 2023. Those targeted 11 Syrian regime officials and their immediate families. This year marks the 13th anniversary of the pro-democracy Syrian uprising. President Bashar al-Assad brutally cracked down on the dissidents and protesters, sparking a civil war that has killed over 300,000 people. UN officials have documented war crimes, including the use of chemical weapons, starvation, deportations, blockades, arbitrary arrests, and torture. Senators demand reform on solitary confinement of immigrants. Details come after the break. Stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome back. A group of senators has strongly condemned the increasing use of solitary confinement for detained immigrants in the U.S., calling it a breach of international standards. They raised their concerns in a March 29th letter to Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas and Deputy Director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Patrick Lechleitner. The senators, including Bernie Sanders, Cory Booker, and Maria Cantwell, cited a 61% surge in solitary placements between 2022 and 2023. Detainees are reportedly kept in isolation for up to 22 hours daily, often for minor offenses or even mental health concerns. The senators say this practice violates Rule 43 of the UN's Guidelines on Prisoner Treatment, which prohibits prolonged solitary confinement. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is under fire for such treatment. Critics highlight the adverse effects of detainees' mental health, including heightened suicide risks. The senators have called on the Department of Homeland Security to overhaul the system urgently. Activists are expressing alarm as the key office on Capitol Hill addressing issues of diversity closes its doors following the passage of a government spending bill. Advocates of diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI programs, say the move signals a setback for inclusion efforts and reflects a broader conservative opposition to DEI initiatives. Representative Joyce Beatty condemns the closure, stressing its importance in advancing equity and opportunity in the U.S. Beatty, a leading figure in DEI advocacy, warns of potential consequences on underserved communities. Critics fear a regression in the fight against discrimination across various sectors of society. Two 10-year-old students have been apprehended for a gun transaction at their Florida elementary school. The Hendry County Sheriff's Office revealed one of the boys, the son of the deputy, sold his deceased father's handgun to a classmate for $300 in February. The discovery led to a lockdown at County Oaks Elementary School, following reports of a suspicious incident. Upon investigation, authorities found ammunition in the buyer's backpack and recovered the gun hidden in the seller's backyard, along with a bag of marijuana. The buyer faces charges including firearm purchase and possession on school premises. The deputy's son is charged with firearm sale to a minor, possession, and grand theft. Oncologists in the U.S. have raised concerns on the issue of using artificial intelligence in medical application, particularly in cancer treatment. A recent article in the Journal of the American Medical Association says they are urging accountability of AI developers for potential medical application errors. The study surveyed 204 oncologists practicing in the U.S. between November 2022 and July 2023. About 90% of the respondents advocated for AI developers to assume responsibility for potential legal issues arising from the use of AI in cancer treatment. About 47% of oncologists suggest that the responsibility should lie with doctors, while 43% believe it should be shared by hospitals. As the U.S. Food and Drug Administration approves AI models for use in oncology, researchers note that the potential for AI to play a revolutionary role in the field. However, analysts say the survey highlights the need for clear guidelines on responsibility and accountability. In the Iraqi city of Najaf, thousands of Shia Muslims gathered in the tomb of Imam Ali late Friday to commemorate the 1363rd anniversary of his martyrdom. Ali, also known as Hazrat Ali, was the son-in-law of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and is considered to be the first Imam by Shia Muslims. A large number of people worshipped during the night that coincided with Laylatul Qadr, considered one of the odd nights of the last 10 nights of Ramadan. The Najaf shrine is the third holiest site for some of the estimated 200 million followers of the Shia branch of Islam. Worshippers will also visit the city of Karbala, where Imam Ali's son, Imam Hussein, was killed together with his 72 followers. In a significant upset for Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his ruling Justice and Development Party, or AKP, the opposition party won most municipalities and district council elections and local elections. Since Turkey does not have provincial governments, analysts say the local bodies are powerful tiers of democracy. According to the Election Commission, opposition CHP, or Republican People's Party, secured more than 37% votes against the ruling AKP's over 35% votes. The opposition clinched 14 metros, 21 provinces, and 337 district councils, mostly in urban areas. The ruling party won in 12 metros and 356 districts straddling the rural belt of Turkey. The main cities Istanbul and Ankara were taken by the opposition. Mayor Akram İmamoğlu of the Republican People's Party, or the CHP, secured Istanbul's mayoral seat by more than 1 million votes. Erdogan conceded his party's defeat, promising self-reflection and correction of mistakes. Analysts attribute the unexpected outcome to voter discontent over economic woes and Turkey not taking any action against Israel after its aggression on Gaza. That's all from our Toronto studios tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Muslim Network TV invites you to join us for our Ramadan Telethon 2024, taking place on Saturday, April 6th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time. So stay tuned. This Ramadan, your support is needed more now than ever to continue our mission of providing informative, educational, and inspiring content to Muslims in North America and around the world. Donate now by calling 1-800-432-4262. You can also use the Zelle app for easy payments by sending to info@soundvision.com or visit muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV or visit muslimnetwork.tv. Assalamu alaikum and good night.